Welcome to Edenic Gardens. This is our vision, this is our dream. Come along with us. On this chilly morning, we are off to pick up a few more electric supplies. A very important one is the rope or pull tape that needs to be inserted inside the conduit so the electric company can be able to use it to feed the power lines through the pipe. Notice the pretty red buds in bloom, which are actually purplish pink or pinkish purple. We have been looking forward to this day since we purchased this property. Another happy, happy day. The ground was dug 3 feet for about 2,400 feet from the main pole through most of the property up to the house site on the hill. Fortunately, the ground had dried quite a bit for this job to commence. We had help from some friends with connecting the pipes and putting up poles that will hold the meter bases, one at the shop RV area and one up on the hill for the house. Then we took out our tractor to dig out the holes for the poles that will hold the meter bases, one at the shop RV area and one up on the hill for the house. Different methods since this ground was rocky underneath. Breaking the rock was tougher than arm day at the gym, and my boys had already worked out their arms at the gym that morning. By the RV site was tough with rocks, we settled on having the hole less than 4 feet deep. We switched our method from pouring the quickcrete into the hole, then adding water, then mixing it, to just mixing it all in the wheelbarrow and then pouring it into the hole, washing the tools immediately after. This method was far easier than the way we did the poles for the gates. This work had us sweating on a cold day. We used about 5 bags of quickcrete for this pole, 80 pounds each. Day 2. We asked our excavator to clear a little area for the second pole at the house site. The pole will be facing the front entrance of the house. In the front, we plan to have a roundabout, and since part of the pool area was taken for the septic, we had to push the house about 10 feet forward, cutting into the roundabout area. He put all of it into one pile for us to later clear up. While we were working on clearing and putting up the second pole, the digging continued with feeding the rope or pull tape through the conduit. Because of the length of this project, it took quite a while. Several days to be exact. It was 3 generations working, our excavator with his son and grandson. Dig the ditch, connect the pipes with PVC glue, feed the pull tape, and repeat for 2,400 feet. And installing 6 junction boxes, each about 400 feet or less apart, instead of the overhead electric poles. The junction box is an electrical enclosure that houses one or more wiring connections. The box protects the connections, which usually contain vulnerable points such as wire splices, from environmental conditions and accidental contact. Once all the conduit is put in, we have to wait for the electric company's inspection and receive the go-ahead to cover the ditch. When the inspector comes, he or she will leave red caution tape that has to be buried a foot over the pipes. Then the remainder 2 feet gets covered. The reason for this is in the event someone digs in the same area, they will hopefully get to the red caution tape a foot above the electric wires that are tucked in the pipe, preventing any damage or disaster. Thankfully, the ground on top the big hill was buttery smooth. Well, for about 4 feet 9 inches. That's where we stopped due to the rocks. The dirt looks like cocoa or carob powder. This process went much easier than the previous pole. If our auger was longer than 3 feet, it would have been easier to dig further, but anything after 3 feet has to be dug by hand, including the breaking of the rocks. Have a ways to go. Hopefully the next day it'll be done. The satisfaction of a very productive day with assistance of neighborly friendly neighbors. Now for a cleansing, relaxing shower, a warm meal, and our sweet beds. Day 3. Today they will have to cut the road to continue piping up to the hill. Will they complete it today? I called the electric company to see if they would send an inspector to approve at least the portion by the road, so that section can be covered before the expected rainfall. For the county had driven by and mentioned they didn't want the pile of dirt to end up on the road, which is understandable. That road is already kind of narrow. Fortunately, they had someone come out and approved all the way to the first pole. They will return once the other section is complete. part 2 and other videos. Subscribe, like, and share. Till next time.